Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another culture podcast. Danny's back on the scene now.
Co-hosting.
And today we are joined with Lupo, who is part
good?
of the Wolf Mobb. Say hello to the people, mate.
What's good? It's Lupo.
So we're just gonna have a sort of discussion about obviously what you're doing with yourself.
Right.
You're saying that obviously you're dropping an EP soon, is that right?
Yeah, I am dropping an EP. Let's say by March, April.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it called? Do you have a name for it?
You know what? Yeah, at this point I can announce it's called New Moon.
New Moon.
Yeah. New Moon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. What's the inspiration for that kind of name?
The idea behind it is just like you see with the whole wolf team that I've got going on. You know, see how Lupo means wolf. I wanted to just expand on that. You know, to expand my brand as well.
Okay.
And obviously the new moon is the start of a new lunar cycle.
Yeah.
So I am going through something that you could call a new stage in my life. You know, just growing up, getting my first flat. You know, just becoming an adult. So I feel like it's a new phase of life, and that's why I want to call it a new moon.
Fair play. That's actually quite a good. Usually, I feel like artists just kind of name it whatever, but that's actually quite good. So, see, with the Wolf Mobb stuff, how did that all come about?
Right. So it did start off as a label, right? In 2020, I was like, it was called Howling Wolf Records at the start.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, I had like 9-10 members, something like that. Yeah. So many artists from all over Scotland, the most talented in Scotland, if I'm being honest. What ended up happening is that not everyone was on the same page. Everyone was kind of doing their own thing.
Okay.
So it just ended up falling apart. And the three lasting members were me, Kai Sinclair, and Jay Leo. And there we go with Wolf Mobb. So we changed it from a collective, from a label to a collective.
So more of like a group now.
Yeah, there we go.
So are you planning to like release music together?
Definitely, 2025.
Is that not difficult, do you reckon? Is there like any difficulties in working together?
Because before you answer that question, because the reason obviously like you might be asking that is because like, see, even with us two, when we were trying to do this together and like align times and schedules, like we're both fucking busy as fuck.
Yeah.
So
that's two. So I can imagine with three,
and as well.
Yeah.
For example, Joe, he fucking lives here. You live through there, like in Glasgow. So how do you figure that out?
I mean, it just takes a lot of coordination. Like if you don't organize ahead of time, you won't get anything done. So it is a bit of that, and also like we've always been friends, so we know how to speak to each other or like organize and make something fit each other's schedule. So
I think so. You and Joe obviously really close for like years and years, and then it's your brother as well. So I do get that. So like, I mean, is that easier or more difficult? I know that if there's three of you, guys have to really get along. You guys have to get along. Also, you have to work in cohesion. You can't like there can't be any like
friction.
It's got to be quite a solid relationship. If that makes sense. Like how do you guys manage that as well?
I mean, we're just like any other friend group or group. We do have our little fallouts and stuff, but we always go back in right on track because we know why we're doing this at the end of the day. So we always remind ourselves, listen, we are in this for the long run. We have to stick together.
Do you ever think about that though? You know, I know that with a lot of like bands and stuff, like it's quite like frequent. They usually break up over some spats and stuff. Even like I know like it's very different genre, but it's like Noel and Liam Gallagher. Like they're brothers, but they hate each other. Almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's actually nuts.
Like, do you ever think about that though as well?
Yeah, but like I feel like one of the solutions, like the more mature solutions, will be like if there's any issue, don't let it build up to the point where it's like at the end it's just blowing up in your face and all that.
Do you mean just address it?
Yeah, address it head on so we can work towards fixing it. So
I hear that because if you do let it linger, you end up in a point where you're like, it's always like an elephant in the room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So just addressing it head on with the boys.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So then, are you then planning? So like, obviously, we'll get into your sort of performances that you're going to go into as well. So do you always plan to perform as a three?
No, not always. I mean, okay, most of the gigs, if not every single one of the gigs that I've had, people reach out to me and ask me, yo, do you want to open for this guy? And I'm like, yeah or no, right? But sometimes they ask us to perform as a group.
Okay.
For example, we're going to perform for Mobb Deep as a group.
Yeah.
So like specific shows, specific type of, lineups.
Yeah, Mobb Deep, right? I definitely want to get into this because this is so interesting. As soon as I seen it, I messaged you and Joe. I was like, fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that is like a level up. It definitely is, because you know, if you are like opening for like kind of local guys who might not have hit it big yet, that's obviously still good and it's good experience and things like that. How did Mobb Deep, how did that come about? So you're performing for Mobb Deep in what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks or less.
How did that come about? Because you're opening for them.
So it's crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, as you said, there's a difference between like opening for someone that's local and an actual legend in the genre. Mate. That is like, it is mind fucking, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But how did that come about? I got a message from Hip Hop Scotland, so Sanjeev and Alana, they manage the whole, you know, touring side of not touring, performance side of it. So
are they your management?
No, I'm not on the management. Yeah, I'm independent right now. I see. Yeah. So as I said, whenever there's a show that I'm doing, people reach out to me.
So you've never really reached out on the other side?
Nah, never.
That's interesting.
That's insane. Yeah.
So okay, let's say you're a young artist. We'll go into the Mobb Deep stuff in a second, but let's say you're a young artist. How do you get yourself to the position that you're saying that people are now reaching out to you to perform for them?
I mean, they're reaching out to me for a reason, like, not to brag, but I'm amazing at performing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, that is what is drawing the promoters and people to me for a show. Like, they see that I did well in this show, they're like, okay, I'm gonna call in for the next one. So
how do you get your first show?
My first show, it was actually for IYS, which is like international. No, what was it again? Intercultural Youth Scotland, right?
Okay.
It was like a youth club that we used to go to in like 2019, 2020.
Right.
Back in 2019, I had my first. I mean, it wasn't my song. It was Kling featuring me, Huey P. Newton. I don't know if you remember. That was
remember that.
Such an era, but yeah, that was the only song I had. So I performed that song.
Was that your first track?
Yeah,
I thought it was. Yeah, because that's when that was fucking years ago. What was that, like
5 years ago?
2019. Yeah.
But my first solo song was Rescue in 2020.
Yeah. I remind that as well. Okay, so let's say like you're a young artist, you want to get booked for a show. You've never been booked before. Like, how would you suggest someone does that? Do you mean just like are you saying just like go, like, because you're obviously saying you're part of this youth club.
Yeah.
So would you say like do something like that, or how would you suggest to do it?
And I would say work on your craft first of all. So rehearse a lot. When rehearsing, focus on vocal projection, focus on clarity, and also like stage presence. Yeah, because those are the key things that promoters are looking for. Like, if you're an artist and you're good at performing, like, they will book you anytime, right? But in terms of reaching, in terms of expanding your reach as an artist, I mean, I don't know how I did it. It just happened naturally for me. I didn't have to do too much. Like, I was always in the mix. I knew the right people, so
so kind of networking and stuff.
Yeah, network as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Because I was obviously thinking about that, and I was like, because like I was saying, Mobb Deep is a huge level up. Like, everyone, even if people don't recognize like the name Mobb Deep, everyone knows Shook Ones.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? You might not even like, for example, I was obviously telling my girlfriend that like, you'll be coming on the pod,
right?
And I was like, yeah, they're opening for Mobb Deep. She was like, I don't know who they are. And I played Shook One. She knows exactly who that, what that song is, because even like it's in 8 Mile and all that as well. So like everyone recognizes that song. In terms of that, then, so they. Like, so how did they, like, how does that transaction come about? Because you're saying that they.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. So usually when people tour, they have someone opening for them.
Of course.
I think they just didn't have someone for the opening for them in Glasgow specifically. And since Hip Hop Scotland handles the whole like big people coming to Scotland and people from Scotland opening for them, they just reached out to us. Like, so they were just like the middleman, basically.
How did you get in contact with Hip Hop Scotland? Because that's obviously quite a big deal. Then if they handle all
that's major.
Yeah. Like, you see, back in 2020, 2021, I feel like I've made a name for myself in the Scottish scene. So people always had eyes on me, right? Yeah. So again, they reached out to me. I knew Alana from since like 2023, I think, and Sanjeev, that also goes by the name Superman on the beat.
Okay.
I think I've known him as well since 2024. I remember opening for Onyx through Alana last year. Actually, no, 2023. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Onyx.
Nah, I don't know.
They're like quite similar to Mobb Deep.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a big deal then as well.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say again? Oh yeah, Alana and Hip Hop Scotland. Yeah, people that are in the scene in Scotland, right? They're always let me see that. people from Hip Hop Scotland, they're always looking for people in the scene.
Yeah,
so that's basically how they found me. So
right, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't really a case of me having to specifically.
So they're just actively searching. I would assume it's the same as everywhere, like down south. You maybe wouldn't have a whole one for England because England's massive.
I would say searching and representing as well. Scottish artists.
So like they look for up and coming talents and get them in the mix, and then obviously that benefits them.
That's actually like a really good model in the sense. It's a very good model, because like see for like guys who've like they're trying to get their music out there. To get these huge opportunities, that's crazy.
Sure.
So how did it feel when they were like, "Do you guys want to open for Mobb Deep?"
Bro, I was so gassed. I was like, me. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. But then again, it's just another day in the office. Just need to do my own, do what I always do: rehearse, perform.
That's it. I know you said that you don't like to reach out to find performances and stuff like that, but obviously being connected with Hip Hop Scotland, they've got you this big opportunity. Would you not try to look for other ones, like what if there's a Hip Hop England or Hip Hop UK? Would you not try to look for other establishments that could even get you to a higher level?
I wouldn't say that I don't like reaching out to people, right? I just never had the chance to, or didn't know who to speak to,
right?
To reach out to those people, right? Like, I used to always DM the managers of like big artists that would come to Glasgow. Yo, I want to open for your artists. I want to this and that. Never got any response. So I'll try the email. Still no response. I was like,
so you're saying
it happened then.
Get your stock up first, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing. Like, sometimes you need to just show them that you are worth, the time.
Yeah.
So for like, not even for music, but for everything, would you say that? Well, I don't know. I feel like for myself, I think reaching out is an important thing, though, and like almost any 100% career idea. I feel like somebody will have an interest or would have, I guess, a benefit from having you on board as like a young, I don't know, you'd be an intern or something, right? But you're saying don't reach out to people.
No, I'm not saying don't. Therefore, reach out to people, like, because that's how some people get on.
Nah, because even for me, like, nobody's asking to come on this. Do you know what I mean? All I have to do is reach out to X, Y, and Z, all these different types of people.
Like even me, like I'm trying to like look for like career opportunities and stuff. I feel like I'm the one that's always chasing. I know like hopefully I'll get to a point where I don't have to do that.
I think,
but I feel
like you're saying,
to get your stock up, of course. Exactly. But to get your stock up, I feel like you gotta be.
When you get your stock up, that's when you're in a nice spot where you have to. You can chill and people want to then come to you because like. I feel like, see now from the point of like, okay, we've had Chino on and he's kind of baiting Glasgow, so everyone knows him. Now we've got you on, it's like people know you, so it's like it gives you a bit more exposure in that sense. But yeah, I'm guessing like obviously it went when you seen the Mobb Deep shit. It's like that must have been like a pinch me moment where you're like, fuck, this is real.
It's like, you see, I'm a student of the game, right? I'm always looking at people's biopics and documentaries and stuff, and when stuff like this happens, I'm always like, yo, I'm in that part of the movie. Yo, this is happening. Like, that I don't even know. Like, I'm not even the one getting booked, and I'm still like, what the fuck? Because I'm like, I know you boys, and I'm like, obviously not my like close mates with that, but I'm still like, I know these boys, and it's like you're gonna open for Mobb Deep. Like, Mobb Deep's like who I would like if I was like just like chilling one night and I seen that their concert was like, that's someone I'd actually just be interested to go and see anyway. Like, because they are just like huge.
See with Mobb Deep, like, do you have anything that like you're looking forward to asking about? Because they can probably give a lot of advice. Like,
definitely.
I think so. Like, now that you're obviously here, let's try and think. Right, what would you ask them for yourself and for other people that are probably in the same spot as you, trying to get advice or trying to get up in music? You know?
What I would ask them is how to get a live agent.
Live agent.
Yeah.
What's a live agent?
A live agent is someone that books people for shows, if I'm not mistaken, but like that's the main role. I'm trying, like, I can confidently say that performing is one of my biggest points, like, people can be good at rapping, good at, freestyling, all that shit, but for me, I think performing is one of my strongest suits, right? So that is what I'm trying to expand more. So trying to get a
live agent.
Live agent.
Why would you say you don't have one live agent now then?
I don't know.
Just like
it's difficult to get because it's
like having a manager basically, like for shows.
Okay, and like I guess they'll get like a percentage of like the fee.
Exactly.
Okay,
so see, with regards to like fees and getting booked for a show, see like for Mobb Deep, for example. Now I'm not going to ask for specifics, but what kind of range? See if you're getting booked for a show.
Right.
Obviously, being a young up and coming artist. What's the kind of range that you might get paid for a show if you're opening, for example? Or do you do it for free, or how does it work?
I mean, this Mobb Deep one, I would have done it for free, bro. Like, any day, I'll do it for free. Like, But I don't wanna.
Let's say like a range.
Yeah.
Like I don't obviously. I'm not gonna ask for fucking
specifics,
mate.
Yeah.
Q45s out.
But in the hundreds, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because that's class. I mean, especially when it's something that's like you're saying, I would do that for free.
Yeah.
If you even get any money for it, like that would be like
that's a bonus. Like, that's a
100%.
bonus. Yeah.
Because I've seen they're touring like all over the UK. They're doing actually loads.
Yeah.
Loads of shows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so with regards to like recording yourself, then see like studio time and stuff like that. How expensive is it for an artist to like for studio time?
I would say the average is like £25 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
it's not. You reckon?
I mean, sometimes I do like 3-hour session, 4 hours, but yeah.
So how often are you in the studio then?
In the studio recording, not as often as I wish.
Yeah.
I'm always making demos, always making beats with Quested. Shout out to Quested, by the way. Best producer in Scotland. I'm saying it right now. Mostly I work with him, and then I take the demos to the studio to finalize it, and then work on the post-production and all the stuff. Yeah.
So see, with regards to beats, you were saying that like, do you make all of them yourself?
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah. Okay. So
do you outsource them?
At the start of my career, right, it was always like a YouTube type beat, or I wanna do a J-House type of song, J-House type beat. I wanna do this. Yeah. So I remember, shout out to Tasta, by the way, because he gave me some really good advice, right? He was telling me in like 2 or 3 years ago, like, listen, bro, if you want to find your sound, lock in with a producer and find it. Don't be out there looking for type beats and stuff, because it's never gonna really be you, right?
Yeah, I do get that.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I linked up with, I first met Quested in July, August 2022. We became friends at the end of that year. We started making demos and beats just randomly in 2023. Then in 2024, we genuinely locked in, like, seriously. And from get-go on, every single song that I release, unless I say otherwise, is produced by me and Quested, right? So sometimes I just have an idea, and he just expands it and makes it something incredible.
I think that's a good idea of like locking in on your own type of like sound, because it is easy to go down that rabbit hole of like, I want to sound like J Hus, I want to sound like Dave, I want to sound like X, Y, and Z. But it's like, they sound like J Hus only sounds like J Hus. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to be yourself, your own sound, you have to kind of sound.
And also, I feel like to be great in music, I feel like all the greats, there was no one like them before they did it. If that makes sense.
Kanye is only Kanye.
Even Drake,
he's got so many sounds.
It's like very distinct. I feel like to start off and be like, I think it's good to get inspiration, I guess, but at the same time, you always want to be yourself, you know, which is good, and obviously like, you're going down that route, you know. But
yeah, like me getting to the point that I am in right now, it happened by, I'm not gonna lie, I took some acid one day.
Let's get in this. Let's get deep.
I took some acid and I was listening to Jimi Hendrix. And I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like, this is it. Yeah. And I remember just getting flashbacks from when I was 14, 13, 12. And I was so good at playing the guitar, right? I used to get lessons and stuff, but I just took it to a point where if I was still playing today, I would genuinely be one of like top 10 best guitarists my age, like in the whole world, right?
You reckon?
But, yeah, 100%. I'm telling you that.
What makes you think that?
It's a confident one.
It's a case of like, there's a difference between playing an instrument and feeling an instrument when you're playing it, right?
Okay.
I used to get in a certain frequency when I played the guitar, and it was like I became one with the guitar.
I get it.
And I learned very quickly. I was, making a lot of progress very quickly, but then I just stopped when I moved out of Italy. So
right, okay,
yeah. Oh, but going back to what I was saying, I was listening to Jimi Hendrix, and I was like, yo, this is what I need to do. Like, so I started incorporating rock into my music. Yeah. So that is the direction that I'm going into from now on.
Yeah, because even when I was looking on your Instagram, the even like the photographs and stuff like that, the guitars that you got, it's like more of a rock star vibe. Which is like generally unfamiliar to this like sort of scene. Do you know what I mean? So I think that it is good that you're dipping into your own vibe. Yeah. And that is important to have your own identity.
Yeah, it's true.
Like what sort of rock do you like yourself?
Okay. My favorite types of rock, I would say psychedelic rock, punk, metal, a bit of everything, even like Beatles type of rock. Like, I mean,
really? Interesting.
You could call it psychedelic, but it's like acoustic as well.
Do you like Radiohead by any chance?
Oh, I know a couple songs by them, but Quested has always told me that I need to rap on some like Radiohead type of beats,
bro.
Because like that's the
see me. I don't know why. I've got some musician friends. Right? So they are like they perform like every weekend in like bars and stuff. But like, they've been playing music for like since they were like I don't know, maybe like 3, 2. Obviously, a lot of a music background, but they love Radiohead. And I think I was on holiday with them when I was maybe I think like 4 or 5 years back. And then they put me on Radiohead. Yeah. And that was like my number 1 on Spotify rap. I don't know what it is, right? Yeah. I feel like I've always listened to rap and I'd say like the usual R&B type thing. Yeah. But Radiohead has been like probably in my life I'd say that's like the number 1 artist I've listened to. Right. Do you know so I feel like
it's interesting you say that, right? Because see, obviously the way that we've grown up and the people that we've grown up around and the kind of like music scene and vibe that we've been on. I feel like back in the day, people would be like, especially if you're a young black guy, like that's embarrassing, mate.
Yeah,
like,
to be fair,
because like, not even young, bro. Yeah, like not even young, even right now.
Like, I agree.
I was okay, I'm a young black guy. I'm 22 right now. If I go to like I don't know, like most people right and say, oh, like, and they ask me, oh, like, what music do you like?
Yeah, you'll get the whitewashed allegations.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't say radio, but honestly, like the music that I like when I hear it, like you said, like you hear it and you're like, what is this? Like when you had like your moment with like
but you know what's funny? What's funny is that people forget that we started rock. So it's like, what are you talking about?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's true.
But then again, it's also like, I'm just me doing me.
One of the main things for me is to not be like, and I've went on about this a million times, but to not be like discouraged from doing something that you feel is like what you want to do just because people might think it's embarrassing. Right. How important is that for you then? Because obviously you're tapping into a new vibe. It's more like rock, like you're saying. Like that's unusual for a young like black guy, especially in Scotland. Scotland specifically, to be into like rock.
But you have to be brave to go against the grain. I'm not gonna lie. Like even see when I dropped Get Go, right? Yeah, I had so many messages from my old friends telling me, bro, what are you doing? What is that, bro? Like, that's embarrassing. Screaming like a little girl on the mic, bro. What are you doing, bro? Like, But I was like, trust me, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I just have that conviction that I am onto something, 100%. And what I'm doing is very unique. Like, I've had people that know what they're talking about, right? Yeah. That have complimented me for Get Go and how unique it was. So I was like, okay, I'm doing something right.
No, absolutely. Because even right now, if you're not seeing you might not be seeing the like reward for it. Like, you know what I mean? It might not be blowing up or whatever. Yeah. But it's that start of that journey of like just being yourself, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, the artists who are the best are the ones that are free and don't care. It's like Kanye just fucking goes off on
creator as well.
You know?
Do you ever struggle with that?
Yeah. That's a great example.
Yeah. Do you ever struggle with that though? The sort of like
what about in the past?
Doing doing rap and stuff, or what I was saying, liking rock. Right, it has like I guess a bit of a bite back and stuff.
100%.
So
by the way,
you're actually performing rap. Do you ever have like a bad response from like the community, or I don't know, like as like a young black guy? Do you ever like is it ever like, against the stereotype, for instance?
Well, people always gravitate towards what other people like. So that's just a human thing, right? So I'm already aware of that, right? Of
course.
It's mostly like subconscious type of look. Like I know what you're thinking, but you're not saying it.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, bro, I'm just doing me, bro. Like, what do you want?
Absolutely.
I remember like catering towards people's music taste when I first started making music, and it paid off. Yeah. Cool, but it's like I didn't really feel like I was doing me.
You're not connected.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I do understand I'm gonna lose so many listeners, and that's cool. But the people that like my music will find me eventually. That's true. Because it's good.
You know what it is as well? It'll be like, it's cool when you make it. See, right now, they might be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah. But then, see, when it starts, like, you know, you're getting a bit of, you know, traction.
Momentum,
Then they're like, oh, actually, this is quite cool.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
And it goes back to the whole human thing. Like, people like what other people like, so.
Exactly. It's like a sheep mentality kind of vibe.
Exactly,
I think you get that, though. I think you get that the hardest part is always to start. People always, I think if you build something, people will come to it naturally, you know? So I think that's always the idea with these sort of things.
See, with regards to making a music video, how expensive is that? I know it will obviously range depending on the level of production. Yeah. But like, let's say like, you know, you're a young guy, you don't have a lot of money, like, and like, you know, you've just started rapping, you've got this song that you think's banging. How expensive kind of like will a music video be for you?
I would say you get what you pay for, right?
Okay.
At the start, it can range from like the £250-400 for like a basic video. Okay. But my advice to someone who's paying that much is put as much of your own contribution to the video, so that even though you're not getting that much, you're getting what you want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Direct to yourself, if anything.
Do you ever think of doing something creative with music videos? 'Cause I think I saw Jack Harlow made a video with a door cam.
Right.
Like that was like his whole music video.
Yeah.
You ever think of like doing something?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start dabbling way more into the production and direction side of music videos. So yeah.
See, with regards to like actually making music, then who's your sort of main inspirations?
I mainly go off what I'm feeling, right? Whatever idea that is replaying in my head over and over, whatever melody is there, I'll just get it out and build on that. But sometimes I do get references from other songs, like, yo, I like that bass, let's replicate it. I like that kick, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really say, oh, I want to make a song like him anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Like ever since I dropped Get Go, right? It was only after Get Go that I started finding people like Paris Texas, JPEG Mafia, and people that make the music that I make.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that happened, because like it showed that I was always on that path by myself.
How long does it take you to make a song, for example?
A song, it can take me from one day to like a couple weeks or months.
Really?
Yeah, because like sometimes, I mean, the only thing stopping is just like schedule, right? Because sometimes I might want to record this day, but like Quest is not free because working on Lamaya stuff, for example, or Kai stuff. So it's like we always need to find that spot where we can work and build on things.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, sometimes I just write without a beat, or I make a beat and then write on it. So yeah.
See, with regards to like doing features and stuff like that, do you like doing that?
I would like to stay as exclusive as possible. Like now that I've got a new vision, now that I've got a new vision for my music and the direction that I want to go to, I don't want to just make features with anyone, right? Because that can veer me off track or change the overall direction of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now I just want to do my own thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, especially when you're in your own niche, where it's like a rock rap kind of combination of genres.
Yeah.
You don't really hear people doing that.
Exactly.
So if you're going to then jump on a feature that's like more of an Afrobeat sound, it's difficult to put your own influence on it if that's not really the sound you're going for. I
mean, even though I would still do it, but strategically. Like for example, I've got a couple songs with Jay Leo, my brother, right?
Yeah.
And they're more like
is he more of a singer, by the way?
Yeah, he's a singer.
Okay.
Right. And they're more like R&B tracks. If you want to say that.
I fucking love R&B, by the way.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
That R&B like.
And by the way, there's not that many R&B singers in Scotland, so I know for a fact that when Jay Leo drops, he's gonna make an impact. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, he has like the songs that me and Jay Leo work on are mainly like rap R&B, not that much rock into it. So yeah, he sings, I rap on it. So yeah, I can move away from
as well, because it's your brother. It's easier to connect. Oh yeah, and like because you actually you feel like you're literally blood. So it's like you feel a connection. If he's into music, like the same way that you are, then you've got that like kind of chemistry instantly.
Yeah. It goes back to the days from 1 second. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
and that goes back to the days when we were like teenagers, right? I used to play the guitar, and he played the piano. We just have a session in our bedroom, just like playing, feeling each other's groove and stuff. And then he started playing the drum. I mean, he was always playing the drums, but he'll play the drums, I'll play the guitar with him. So we always had that connection, that chemistry. And we're just translating that into music, like actually recording music now. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were your parents musicians then? Because that's quite rare that all of you guys are.
My parents moved from Nigeria to Italy in the late 90s, right? They had me and my brother, right? We grew up in a church environment, right? So we go to church every single Sunday, right? And my dad played the drums in church, as well as leading the choir with my mom. So that's how the whole musical background started, right? I remember there was a period when, right after church, me and Jason, Jay Leo, would go straight to the drums and start playing it for time until our parents literally pulled us out of the the drum kit. And then they got us our like mini drum kit at home. And we played it until we broke it. So we always had that inclination towards music.
So would you say the church environments had a big influence on your music career?
1000%.
I think a lot of black artists were the same experience.
Yeah, like there's so many greats that started off in church and then did their own thing, right? But every single time I went to church, it was like I couldn't wait till they played music, because that was like the highlight of my day every single week, because I just felt the music, the bass line, the groove, the singers. Like, by the way, church has some of the best singers you will ever hear.
Yeah, that's true.
Even better than mainstream singers as well. So yeah, I was always in that environment, and that definitely started my passion for music.
So you mentioned there's a lot of singers that go under the radar when it comes to like church and stuff like that. Why do you think they go under the radar? Because
they're not releasing music for the pop, for the masses and stuff. So it's more like I'm singing, but I'm singing for God. I'm singing in the church.
It's like your sister, to be fair. She's really talented.
She can sing,
really talented. But she doesn't pursue that.
My mum and sister sing really well. Obviously because of like the whole church background. I'm Zimbabwean, so go to church every Sunday. My dad played the keyboard. I'm the only one that can't play it. It's like musical thing. But yeah, I feel like she was half into it. She didn't have like the dedication you're going into. You're recording. You're trying to meet all these different like producers and try to connect. But I don't know why that is though.
It's more of a God thing though. It's like that's the priority that they're looking at it. It's
but then they go into it, if that makes sense. So like my sister, she would sing at church, then had the idea of, oh, actually I'm pretty good at this. I'm getting told I'm good at this. I'm gonna try and go to these studios and are you okay? But like she had like the idea of like, okay, I'm gonna try and do what you've done and try to do it, I guess, on a mainstream level.
Right.
But then I don't know, like they only have to go into it. They don't fully commit, like you've said, to schedules and things. But I don't know. Do you know why that is? Because you've done the other half of it, which they don't do.
I would say like getting into the music industry is one of the hardest things to do. Like you need to have some sort of delusion that you're going to make it. If not, you will not make it.
I agree.
Like you just need to be consistent and persevere. Like it is tough.
Yeah, because I just literally put up a TikTok, like I think it was last night or the night before, talking about how much respect I have for like under the radar music artists.
Right.
Because you have to have that delusion.
Yeah.
And that inner belief that I'm fucking gonna make it.
Yeah.
I believe in my shit. And that's so difficult to do when you have these like social like norms.
Right. No, I feel you, yeah.
I feel like you do have to have some level of delusion. Even if you are shit, and you will be at the start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the start of like even doing this. Like fucking hell, like when we're out in the fucking shed and shit. Like,
no, but I think that like that idea of delusion is,
bro, we were out in the shed and we were like, we're fucking gonna do this shit.
No, like,
you know what I mean?
But the thing is, if you have that be realistic idea to anything, you won't do it. Like I feel like if I say to myself, okay, I've got exams this month, okay, I'll be realistic and aim for a C. Because like that is realistic though. Do you know what I mean? It's I can achieve a C. But then obviously you have to have that craziness to be like, I'm gonna go for the highest grade possible.
Exactly.
And then that's when you start to when you believe in that, you then start studying the long hours. You then start staying up.
When you have that mindset of being realistic, it just cuts you off for your actual potential.
Yeah.
Because like Kanye, even you see like interviews of him when he was like, releasing like Graduation after the college dropout and all that, and he's blowing up. He's in an interview and the guy's asking him like, you have like so much self-confidence, like you seem like the type of guy that believes like you could go to the NBA. He's like, mate, I could go to the NBA if I tried. I'm like, bro, this guy's like 5'9", and he's like doesn't play basketball.
That's true.
And he's fully like genuinely within himself believes if I apply myself, I can do this.
The thing is, but when you die though, you'll always know how far you could have got.
That's it for me. I have this thing in my head that's like, I'm gonna put my all into this. Like even like the last guy that I recorded a pod with, right? I was in Glasgow because that's obviously where I work. I stayed over at my girl's house because I fucking ended up going for a few drinks. Went for too many drinks, mate. I wake up really hungover. This boy's going to be in my house at like an hour. I had to book an Uber back here from Glasgow, bro. 50 quid.
Shit.
And I'm like, but that's just because I believe that, like, okay, I'm going to work on my craft and like, I don't give a fuck what condition I'm in. I'm coming here to do it.
Still doing it. Yeah. Still showing up. That is literally what matters. Like, as long as you show up, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
For sure.
No.
Like for yourself, do you reckon since you've started that you've got as far as you could have? Like, so you're saying sometimes that you were inconsistent and things like that. I mean, like, what lessons do you think?
I like this question, bro. Like, see, like 2022, 2023, I feel like I wasn't releasing as much as I should have. I had a nice momentum going on, but then again, life happened and I was just figuring out myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Figuring my next steps, the music that I wanted to drop. So yeah, that also got in the way, but I feel like I could have done more, if I'm being honest.
So how about now then? Like now, let's say you've learned those lessons, you've got the next 3 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
How do you plan on sort of rectifying that one?
Not repeating the mistakes that I was making before, right? So you only actually learn from your lesson when you stop doing what you were doing, right? So, like, for example, for me, like it might not be the same for many rappers or singers or whatever, but smoking weed, I feel like even though I enjoyed it so much, it did slow me down a bit. I'm not gonna lie. So I just had to learn how to.
You mean like smoking too often?
Yeah, smoking too often.
Because a lot of like rappers and just not even rappers, artists, they smoke like sometimes
exactly.
like it's just like constantly in the studio,
and that helps them.
Is smoking bad for you?
But it was the
Is it bad for you then?
I mean, no,
it's definitely not. Good.
Right,
so I don't know, you know,
like Snoop Dogg and stuff. They always say that. Nah, this is
he
good.
operates like he actually operates. Like,
I mean, it's just based on who smokes it, right, and the relationship you have with whatever you consume, right. For example, me, the mistake that I was making was smoking early and not getting anything done throughout the day. So the solution would be smoke after or don't smoke. So just have
Do you still smoke now?
Every now and then. I'm on a break right now. I mean, but I don't smoke as much as I used to. Definitely.
I think as well, you need to have some sort of relaxing period, and that's different for other people. Like I don't smoke personally, but like my relaxing period might be something different. You know what I mean? Like, I think you need to have that layoff. But it's important that you don't do that at the start of the day, like you're saying, because then you're like, oh, I'm not.
I can't be asked doing anything now. It's like,
but for me, obviously, like the weed thing's interesting because it's being legalized. You know, like I think like it's being socially accepted in certain places, like in America and certain states, it's legalized. You know.
Yeah, because like, see, for example, my mom and dad, they'd be like, nah, don't smoke weed. Like that's like, you know, it's like it's different mentality, but culturally, like even like if you look at Jamaicans, that's just a normal thing in the culture.
But for me though, I think anything that's taken into your body that's not oxygen, like it was not intended. I think, and I think also the effect on your mind that cannot be good for you. But
I'll tell you what. Yeah, it can help you either expand or destroy your mind. So, for example, if you got family history of like schizophrenia and stuff like that, do not do anything. No LSD. No, don't do anything because like that can trigger the schizophrenia at a young age as well. Right? So you just need to know what's for you and what's not.
Because I agree. Because a lot of artists take a lot of kind of hallucinogenic drugs, and it's like a lot of these things like acid, like you were saying, is frowned upon like socially. But it also depends where you are, because like social norms are completely different all across the world. Like something that's really unacceptable here is like normal in other places. Like for example, typically in black culture, if you're taking coke, that is a fucking big
It's like, nah, don't do that. I don't play with my nose.
I was explaining this to my dad earlier. I was like, do you know like the rave culture? Everyone takes Eckies, coke, all these different types of drugs, and that's normal. It's just like a white UK normal thing. But then like you're not going to do that if you're with the black guys in a like fucking Afrobeats club.
Exactly.
You're not going to be taking Eckies.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like you're a fucking weirdo, mate. You know?
Even though I do know some black people that do all that stuff.
No names out here in the pod. Don't expose anyone, but with regards to like listening to new music, right? Obviously, as a white guy, you've got a stereotypical kind of tunes that you're meant to listen to.
I can imagine.
Whereas for me, I've obviously been bumping Jamaican music.
Nah, like literally, bro, like
so much like dance hall, like all that kind of stuff, right? And I remember it was like, like these people I was at work with, got in the car that I was in, and it like auto played the music that I was playing,
right?
And it was like wine pon the cocky, wine pon the cocky. I was like, it's all white people. And fuck is this, bro? They're like expecting me to be like doing like
that's interesting. Like we're like polar opposite. I think society would think that what I listen to, you listen to that.
Yeah.
And what you listen to, I would listen to that. Like I feel like that's like what we actually day by day like listen to. It's quite crazy.
Like because that's interesting because a lot of people, did you know like the really like major hallucinogenics like ayahuasca and stuff like that people take, like, you know, if they're going to like the Amazon and all that shit, right? It's like either people have a horrific experience and they actually think they're dying, or they have this like mind opening
revelation
exactly. And I just find that so interesting. I'm way too much of a shite bag to like touch that, just because and maybe that's like a fault of myself, but like I think for certain people it can just open you up to a new sort of level. Is that what you've experienced? Like that's the type of drug that's like people get hooked on. Like, I know certain geezers go out and every weekend they can't go out unless they have a bag of coke.
There we go.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's them ones where it's like that's not good, but that's a fucking expensive habit to have as well.
I would say coke.
It's funny because I've been reading this book, right, and it's called The Courage to Be Disliked, right? And it's basically about you shouldn't obviously want to be disliked by people, but you shouldn't care what people think.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you release yourself from those kind of like shackles of like worrying about what the people in the crowd might think, then you're like, okay, I'm free.
Yeah.
I can actually be and express myself. So is that what you basically like sort of have? Is, do you think when you're going for your goals, do you think you can like, and you know, wanting to pursue your music career, do you think you can also balance a relationship like with a girl? With that, like, because I have a girlfriend, I'm doing all this stuff, extra stuff, and I've got like, my work is so busy and stressful as well, plus this, so I've not got a lot of free time, and I think if you've got somebody that's on a similar sort of vibe trajectory, and they're like you say, kind of pushing you and helping you, I feel like it's definitely sustainable. But it's so easy to get with the wrong person who's like, you know, not on that vibe, and they kind of really draw you back a bit. I've seen a lot of guys, like, you know, we know it with like certain people we know, it's like they get a girl and then that's just like,
but I think men and women are also like, as genders, we all behave the same. Like, I feel like even as guys, we are pretty similar in many ways. Like, I think girls are the same thing. I think with me, it's like, I think girls require a lot of commitment, regardless. And I do think we're all quite young, but I do think, for me, I feel like I'll get further on alone than with somebody. I think
I'm the same.
Having to deal with certain things that you need to deal with. Like, I can't go 3 weeks without talking to you or spending money on you or doing that. Like, you can't do that, okay? Like, or else you're a bad boyfriend. But to be a good boyfriend whilst doing this well, I don't know.
It's tough.
It's important. I mean, you get further along alone.
Bro, it's like,
it's a trade-off.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
I think on the financial side of things as well, like, we're not millionaires. Like, we're still fucking using iPhones here to like record. Do you know what I mean? I've not even got a camera set up. Like, this is obviously pretty basic in that sense, because these things cost a lot of money. So I think if they understand as well that from a financial standpoint, like, this is your priority, then you're okay.
Is the key.
I think as a young man, right? I think the best way as a young man, the best thing you can do is to just get that done. Go studio, get that status up, get your stature.
I get you, but
once I get there, it's like
the fear of women at that point.
Exactly.
I do get that.
There you go.
I think though, like, no man needs a girl. I think you can always find another girl. Let's be honest.
Of course.
Like, I think the girl that I've liked the most in my lifetime growing up, okay, these traits that she had, you find them somewhere else. I'll be honest.
Fair enough.
But the only thing is like, see if you click with a girl on a level that you've not clicked before, and you're like, shit, I feel different about this one.
Yeah.
Like, if for me, I wouldn't just let that pass, because I'm like, I've got shit to focus on.
Yeah.
Because then, do you know, even when you are big, you're still going to be doing the same stuff. You know, you're still going to be recording. So it's like, time-wise, it's going to be pretty similar.
But I think she'll understand it more because it's no longer potential. It's now.
Bro, I've had that shit happen to me like a couple years ago.
I don't know. I feel like as I got older, I think I stopped believing that idea of like there's the one or like that idea of like real love. I think honestly, especially as a guy, I think it's conditional. I do think like if you're not,
of course,
in good shape or successful, you're not gonna get that dream woman, bro.
True.
I'll be realistic.
True.
Like, if you're below the average, or she has better options, why would she choose you?
Yeah, but I mean that's why you have to focus on yourself first.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know? Sort your shit out, be in good shape, or try be successful at whatever you're doing. I think that is the priority, because if you want a certain caliber of girl, like you're saying, you need to do that.
So even like at this age, then I think that's what every guy should be doing. I all the guys that I know, right, that managed to secure a really good looking girl that's like top tier, right?
Yeah.
They always, like, recently I've saw a lot of breakups in the past 6 months, right? This guy spent the past 3 years, like, so you're saying, oh, I can either go studio or take her on a date. This guy would do the date option. Right? He's doing that for the past 3 years, prioritizing her, right? Like,
it's extremely
more than
difficult.
himself and his career, right? Rather than that. And like now it's 3 years past and they break up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that for what? Yeah.
Like, all you have at this age, right, is time. That's the only thing on your side. Like, that's the only thing. And if you're gonna lose that. Like, looking back at the past 3 years, I think I'm happy that, okay, I had a girlfriend for a bit, but I think it wasn't as long as other people's, which is why I'm happy with that. But I think comparing the time when I was with her on my own, the difference is like, it's crazy. It's night and day.
As well, they kind of might feel sort of neglected if you're not doing these things like dates.
Yeah.
Why won't you take me on dates? You have to get somebody who really gets it, or it's not going to work.
True.
You know?
But do they ever get it? You got to, like,
don't know, man.
I mean, some do, but it's like a small percentage.
It's a really, I don't think there's no way it could be nobody in this world that gets what you do.
Exactly.
Like,
no,
you know.
So obviously, me and you're single, but I know you've got a girlfriend. But I see how much you have to do to sort of take care. Bro, I think even if she's a great girl, that actually justifies doing that stuff more because she deserves that. Then, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
In my opinion, like I get that. I think even if I meet a nice girl, like, can I even take care of that? Like, for instance, like he's taking his girlfriend to like the DR, Dominican Republic, right? I think if I had the girl that was class, I think I should do that as well because she deserves that.
Yeah.
And again, it's like at this stage of my life specifically, I think the trade-off for me is more like,
I think that's why it's so important to get your money up.
Yeah.
Because you know, like realistically, you know, money's not the end of the world, like not the fucking only important thing in life, but it just does give you those options. Like I can do this, sustain this, plus also take my girl on holiday to Dominican Republic, Milan, like all these kind of things, like because if you don't like you can't really sustain that, you know.
I've had a good conversation.
Right, okay, we'll wrap up here then. So that's the end of today. Thank you, Lupo, brother, for coming on, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Well, obviously when you release your EP, let us know and we'll fucking help you out on that side of things, and then
as I said, new music coming soon, stay tuned.
100%. Right.